When the only constant in life is change, you need to be ready. This is the Man-Made Survival Show.
Hello everybody, my name is Jose Prado, Man-Made Survival, and I'd like to thank you so much for coming back to the channel and watching this video. Thank you so much for doing so on all the other platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the Apple Podcast platforms. Thank you for downloading and sharing, and everybody on Brighteon. Thank you so much for doing what you guys do. Thank you for sharing this information, because I do believe this information is very important. So please like and share it, and please subscribe so you would know when we make a new video. But today's information is very, very important, and I really do believe it is, because not only do we have this pandemic, even though they don't want to call it a pandemic, it's the potential of World War III go along with it. So it could be two very big disasters all into one package. And it's just now starting to hit in the United States. So it probably has hit, they just haven't tested. But the point is that it could explode here in the United States. At the same time, we could potentially have World War III. And that would be very devastating for a lot of people. So if you think people are panic buying now, just imagine if there was the smallest whisper of World War III out there, which there should be because of the information I'm going to share with you today. But before I do that, I'm going to give you the official number of infected and the official number of dead. Number of infected is 83,883. 83,888. With 2,872 dead. In South Korea, there's 2,337 infected. Italy, 653. Japan, 225. Iran, 388. And the United States, 62. But of course, we know that number is probably very, very high, just for the simple fact that they have not tested very many people, but they do have over 8,000 people under observation. So I'm going to go ahead and give you these headlines, because I do believe that this is like an emergency broadcast, okay? Because of everything that's going on. Now, I have been talking about panic buying since we heard that it was happening in Hong Kong and in Singapore. And then, of course, it happened in Italy and all the other places. The point is that I was warning you that you should go ahead and get your stuff ready before, excuse me, before the panic hits where you live in your city. All right, so here's one of the headlines. Worries over panic buying arise as some supply shelves at stores empty out. And this one comes from Hawaii. They have just gone ahead and spent all they could on food. And you're going to see it. You're going to see some of that in this video. And I'm about to show you this from khon2.com. Here's that video.
Story: supplies flying off the shelves after a message from the state health department, pretty much the word to stock up now.
We don't have any coronavirus cases here, but health officials want you to have food, supplies, medicines, just in case.
Kimberly Speakman found out that's causing concern for those who are most in need.
Flatbeds overflowing, carts filled to the brim at Costco and Ivale.
The essentials: toilet paper, paper towels, bottled water, soap, a lot of Clorox stuff, cleaning supplies. I figure with all the coronavirus scare and everything, it's better to be safe than sorry.
And he's not the only one picking up a few things.
It's always a good idea to stock up with things like that are protein items, like albacore, or things that shelf life that's a long time. Protein items, things like black beans. Yeah, this is just an extra precaution, but no panic.
Panic buying, leaving store shelves bare, is what the Hawaii Food Bank is worried about.
If there's no inventory in the store, then there's very little for stores to donate to the food bank. And then also at home, if you're just stocking up and hoarding for your family, the last thing you're thinking about is making a donation. So it impacts us in a very great way.
Every month, the Hawaii Food Bank helps to feed an average of 20,000 people. Mizutani says that equals to about 1 million pounds of food. Thanks to donors, they've been able to keep their warehouse well stocked, and he hopes to keep it that way.
But we are asking folks to just take a deep breath, think about others, not just your family members.
Once again, for a full list of all the things you'll need for your 14-day emergency kits, you can visit our website, khon2.com. Reporting from Honolulu, I'm Kimberly Speakman, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.
So you saw it, right? You see all those people coming out with a bunch of food, you know, carrying out in the buggy, or not the buggy, but the stroller-looking thing. And they're spending so much more money than we probably would have if they would have just gone ahead and bought storable food and had it, because they obviously have the money. They went ahead and just bought a whole bunch of it, and now they're storing it. And a big example of that is going to be in this next headline that I have. Panic buying strips store shelves as people stockpile amid coronavirus outbreak, with one woman turning her basement into a supermarket and a man buying a year's supply of food, which includes 192 tins of Spam. This from Daily Mail. Supermarket shelves are starting to be stripped bare as Americans prepare for the spread of coronavirus. People have been panic buying items ever since health authorities warned that Americans should start preparing for domestic acceleration of the virus. Supplies have been flying off the shelves, with people posting photos on social media showing the lack of product available in some stores and pharmacies. In California, some Walgreens stores have been completely depleted of cough medicines, cold and flu medications, vaporizers, masks, and thermometers. Shoppers in Hawaii were buying up flatbeds of canned goods, bottled water, toilet paper, and paper towels from local Costco. Supermarket aisles in Virginia have been stripped of non-perishables like pasta. U.S. stock index fell sharply again at the open of on Friday as the coronavirus outbreak raised the alarm on possible global recession. It comes as thousands of people were buying up face masks, and the U.S. government said it was planning to stockpile 300 million masks. There are now 62 confirmed cases of coronavirus in the U.S., and the first case of the origin of the disease unknown was confirmed on Wednesday. See, these people probably spent a whole lot more money than they would have if they would have bought that a long time ago. Or not a long time ago, but before this happened. If they would have spent the same resources that they already spent buying flatbeds of canned goods, 192 tins of Spam, or a woman turning her basement into a supermarket, they obviously had the money. So now I hope that from this point on, they take on the prepper lifestyle and they have that stuff ready in storable food before another crisis happens. If they even get the chance to, because of the next headlines I'm going to get into. And I'm not selling anything. If you've seen the channel for a while, I'm not selling anything. There's no link to anywhere. The point is that this information is free. This information is for you. Nobody's paying for it. I'm paying for it. So this is for your benefit. This is to educate you. That way you can have more, or you can know what to do when something like this happens. All right, 192 tins of Spam. I mean, he's going to get tired of it, but at least it's better than none. So that brings me to the next headline. And this one, it shows how some people, probably the people that do not believe in the virus, feel. The pasta shelves are empty. Panic buying continues in Italy. There wasn't this much panic when World War II started. This from Infowars, and here's that video.
Ma perché ci sono gli scaffali della pasta vuoti? Ma che cosa sta succedendo? Manco quando è scoppiata la seconda guerra mondiale c'era stato un panico così.
See, you can see how irritated he is, how mad he is, because it wasn't that bad in World War II. But, I mean, I give him a point, right? I do understand. But things were a lot different back in World War II era, because a lot more people knew how to be self-dependent, how to be self-sustaining. Now, a lot more people are more dependent on the grid and on the on-time deliveries and on everything else. And I'm not saying that those things are bad. The grid is wonderful. The on-time delivery is amazing. All right? Those are the benefits of a first world country. You don't have to worry about farming and doing all those things. But when something like this happens, and all those things stop, you have no knowledge. All you know that you have to go to the grocery store and get more things. And now that there's no grocery stores, you don't know what to do. This is why you need the prepper lifestyle. This is why you need to learn how to grow your own food. You need to learn what stuff in the wilderness you can eat, stuff like that. So again, I'm not saying that the grid is bad. You just need to learn how to be more self-sustaining, which is the Achilles heel of the United States. All right. Now that we have talked about this and we know so much we know already, if you follow the channel, you've heard me talk about the coronavirus extensively because, it's what's happening right now. But the next thing is going to be the possibility of World War III during a pandemic here in the United States, which would be devastating. If we think we're going to have a bad time right now, just hold on to your hats, because if this don't get resolved in a timely manner before anything happens, it could be a whole lot worse, and it could be kind of like a extinction level event. Because how else would you explain it? Like, all the hospitals are full, but if somebody hit us with an EMP right now, whoever is sick more than likely is gonna die. That's why you need to take it serious right now. That's why this information is very important. That's why I keep saying this like an emergency broadcast. Okay. Here's the headline: Erdogan threatens imminent Turkish operation in Syria. This from AlJazeera.com. Turkish leader says talks with Russia over northwestern Syria failed to achieve desired result. An operation in Idlib is imminent. Erdogan told his party legislator in parliament on Wednesday, "We are counting down, we are taking our final warning." In Russia, the Syrian government main ally in the nearly 9-year war responded by saying any Turkish offensive against Syria force in Idlib would be the worst case scenario. If we are talking about an operation against the legitimate authorities of the Syrian Republic and armed forces of the Syrian Republic, this would, of course, be the worst case scenario. Talks between Turkey and Russia officials early this week related to Idlib failed to reach any agreement. This after Erdogan and Trump held a phone call whereby both leaders agreed that Syria-Russia offensive must be halted immediately. In surprise, I can talk today, I promise. In surprise flip, Turkey asked U.S. Patriot missile to deter Russia in Idlib. Now, that headline is important, okay? That's from Syria Hedge. Because Turkey is a NATO ally. And what the NATO alliance says is that when one member gets attacked, all the other members must come to its aid. And that includes the United States. And let's remember, it's against Russia. So Turkey knows that Russia is a strong force, a formidable force, that they're very, very strong. That's why they are asking the United States for help. And they asked for the Patriot missile, there's a defense system. In a breaking major development in the battle for Idlib, Turkey has reportedly asked the United States for its Patriot missile defense system to deter the Russian and Syrian army offensive in Idlib, reports Bloomberg, citing an official in Ankara. The senior Turkish official in Ankara was reported as saying Turkey asked the U.S. to deploy 2 Patriot missile defense systems batteries on its southern border to defend against Russia air power. Certainly, such a request could mark a major turn back to the U.S., Turkey's powerful NATO ally. And they say that because Turkey was starting to be very good friends with Russia. Okay? And they were buying their military equipment. They were doing all these deals. The United States did not like that at all, but they went ahead with it anyways. And now that they have this problem, now they're turning back to the United States, mainly because they know they're a member of NATO. And pretty much the United States is legally bound to help Turkey if anything happens. And not just the United States, but of course all the other countries. So if your country is part of NATO, just expect for them to probably go to war as well to help Turkey. Here's another headline. Turkey requests U.S. jets patrol near Idlib to halt Russian air power. That's from Syria Hedge. It's not just Patriot anti-air defense missile systems that Turkey is requesting from Washington. Apparently, in order to halt Russian air power over Idlib, a bombshell report in Middle East Eye has cited Turkey defense officials who say Turkey's government has asked the U.S. to begin air patrols over the southern Turkey along the border with Syria, Idlib province. Ankara is also trying to get NATO more involved militarily after Erdogan has vowed to prevent pro-Assad forces from retaking Idlib. So there you go. All right. And at first, when those reports first came out, I didn't really think much of it because, whatever. If something happens, nobody has died, so it's not really an escalation until 33 people died. 33 Turkish soldiers died. Here's the headline. Number of Turkish soldiers killed in Syria's Idlib grows to 33, authorities say. This from TASS.com. The number of Turkish soldiers killed in Syria Idlib province has grown to 33. Governor of Turkey's Hatay province, Rami Dogan, told TRT channel on Friday. The number of killed soldiers increased to 33. There are no threat to the lives of the injured soldiers, Dogan said. Here's the other one. 33 Turkish soldiers killed in Syria air raid in Idlib. This from AlJazeera.com. The U.S. State Department has also weighed in, saying that it is very concerned about the report attack, adding, "We are standing by our NATO ally Turkey." What I said. We're standing by our NATO ally Turkey and continue to call for an immediate end of this despicable offense by the Assad regime, Russia, and Iran-backed forces, the State Department representative said. And they did not just stop right there. All right. What the United States did after that is that we kind of practice a war game. It was kind of like AI based. But the point is that we're planning for it because we get, the force have to be ready. Expert plays nuclear war. Russia nukes Europe. U.S. fires back. This from defense1.com. U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper took part in a classified military drill this week in which Russia and the United States traded nuclear strikes. Pentagon officials said on background Friday. The mini exercise, held at U.S. Strategic Command headquarters in Omaha, Nebraska on Thursday, comes just weeks after the U.S. confirmed that it has deployed controversial low-yield nuclear missiles or Navy submarines, and as the Trump administration asked Congress to approve $44 billion to buy new nuclear weapons and maintain its existing arsenal. The scenario included their European contingency, where you're conducting a war with Russia and Russia decides to use a low-yield, limited nuclear weapon against a site on NATO territory. A senior defense official said, speaking on the condition of anonymity to discuss classified military drills. The U.S. fires back with what senior officials call a limited response to Moscow's nuclear attack in Europe. During the course of the exercise, we simulated responding with nuclear weapon, the official said. So there you have it. They will strike with nuclear weapons. We will attack them and they'll attack us. And we know that Russia has a strike first policy. They already told us where they would hit us. Even though they put a fake, I believe it's to be a fake map, they told us how they're going to do it. They have the submarines, or they could launch an attack from the submarines on each coast. All right. So this threat is very, very real all along with the pandemic. This would be the best time to strike. I don't know if they'll do it. That's why you must be ready for whatever scenario, because if they do, the worst one that they could possibly do on us, besides a nuclear strike, is to do an EMP. If an EMP hits, all the electronics are gone. There's no more internet. There's no more TV. There's no more cell phones, no more cars, no more anything. You will pretty much be taken back to the 1600s. And if you think that the panic button is hidden right now, if something like that was to happen, you will see total chaos. All right, so that's why you need to be prepared. You have to be prepared today, not just for the coronavirus, but now it looks like they're gonna want to go to war over this. Let's hope that they don't. And I don't know where I fall, but I'm almost certain that they will not. But 33 out of nowhere have died, and then that could be like a declaration of war. If Russia was to kill 33 of our soldiers, how do you think the U.S. will respond? Or let's flip it. Let's say that we kill 33 Russian soldiers. How would they respond? Hopefully not with a nuclear war. Hopefully they will be able to take care of the problems. But the point is that we don't know. There's so many things here in the world right now, and it's only February. It's almost March. 2 months. 2 months in 2020. January, we almost went into World War III in Iran. That didn't happen. All right, so coronavirus comes along, and now we're dealing with it. First in the other side of the world, now we're dealing with it now. Now that has brought the economy almost to a halt. They have had over $6 trillion lost in value in the stock market because of what's happening with the coronavirus, and people are freaking out. I think that's why Trump was saying that it was the media's fault, that the people are panicking because they're over exaggerating, which they're not. All right, if it happens, it happens. You have to tell the truth. Doesn't matter what happened to the stock market. People's lives are more important. But anyways, and now this thing with Turkey and Russia, we could get involved in it, and we could get striked because Russia has a first strike policy, and we would be the main force that would be backing Turkey. All right, so please take this into consideration. Do not panic. This is not to scare you. This is not to panic you. If you know what's coming, you can plan for it, and then you'll be ready for it, right? This is not to freak anybody out. Do have your stuff ready, and get prepared for the coronavirus first, then get prepared for World War III, because we have the coronavirus at our doorstep, and the possibility of war is still there. It's not concrete. When you start seeing that, they start exchanging bullets and stuff, then you have to worry about it even more. But the point is that right now, as it stands today, February 28th, you have to worry about coronavirus. Don't take the media saying that it's not lethal as much as it was in Wuhan. That is a lie. It's just as lethal. All right? Everybody in Canada, take care. Everybody in Netherlands, take care. Everybody and all around the world that listen to this channel, thank you so much for doing so. Please like and share this video, because as you see, this information is very important. And I'm not charging anything. I'm not saying click a link. I'm not saying anything. All I ask for you is to share this information. Please like the video. Please subscribe. Go on Facebook, because on there, I post a lot more articles that I could possibly say here. It's already been 22 minutes. All right. So please go on there, like the page. That way you can see all the things that we post, and that way you can be more up to date, more than I can do on videos. So please do so, and thank you so much. We're almost at 100. If we get 100 subscribers, or not subscribers, if we get 100 on Facebook, the people that like the page, we're gonna do something nice for 5 people. But anyways, thank you so much for what you guys been doing. Thank you for sharing, for commenting, for doing everything. Please share this far and wide, because this information is very, very important, especially right now. Again, thank you. My name is Jose Prado. Always ready.
The Man-Made Survival Show.